We have breaking news here in the Chat Sports Studios. It's the Cowboys Report Special Edition. And we got Cam Rogers, we got Tom Downey, our Cowboys insider, to break it all down with you. What is that breaking news? The Fort Worth Star-Telegram is reporting that some players on the Cowboys team will be protesting tonight's Monday Night Football game between, of course, the Cowboys and the Arizona Cardinals. Doesn't seem like it's a coordinated effort. Hasn't been discussed in the locker room yet. Of course, we're not there yet, but Tom, a lot to
it's been discussed amongst the Cowboys leadership. I think there's a group of 12 players and some coaches that have discussed it. I don't think the Cowboys know what their plan is going to be yet, but the quotes from some players that they feel like they have to do something after President Donald Trump's disparaging comments against players who are protesting. So their mindset is that they need to do something here on this show or before the game. It could be something as simple as just doing the locking of the arms before the anthem, as several teams did. It could be something more drastic, as some players elect to kneel before the game, or they even don't go out for the anthem altogether.
This is breaking news, folks. We are completely live right now, and as always, we encourage you to weigh in. Here is our first question. Whose stance do you support, President Trump's or the protesting players? And, of course, we are assuming that there will be some protests here tonight, according to these media reports. One report actually saying that some of these players don't want to be seen as puppets for Jerry Jones's regime right now. They feel they are individuals, too, and they want to speak out before tonight's game during that national anthem in however way they feel fits. Now, President Trump recently tweeting that he is okay with the locking of the arms, Tom Downey, but not so much with the kneeling.
I mean, I don't know why we're drawing these minuscule lines in the sand.
Go,
like,
right?
What's the difference in the end between standing, kneeling, and locking your arms? They're all shows of respect. Like, you go to church, you kneel at multiple times during church. That's a sign of respect. Like, I don't understand how that minuscule line has been drawn. Like, oh, it's okay. Now, Bobby here coming in with a comment. Jerry Jones said, if you kneel, you're fired. Doesn't matter who you are. Wow. Bobby, that is fake news. Jerry Jones has never said that. There was a report last year that it came out, and Jones has been false accused of the past of saying that he would fire those who didn't stand. That is not Jones' stance. Now, Jones does believe that this is not the time to do it, and he's made those comments in the past, but he has never said that if you kneel, you're fired. That is not the stance from Jerry Jones. That has not been said. Anything otherwise says that it's fake news.
And, of course, we do have a statement that Jones made earlier this past week. We will be playing that for you later. But what he said certainly is in difference with what could happen tonight, according to these reports.
Yes, exactly. And I think that if there's some display of unity, even if it is just as simple as the locking of the arms, my expectation with Jones would not be very happy. But I think he would just kind of take a back seat on this one.
Once again, folks, the breaking news is that the Fort Worth Star-Telegram is reporting that some players on the Dallas Cowboys will be protesting tonight's national anthem before Monday Night Football between the Cardinals and the Cowboys. This game in Arizona at the Big Toaster. Tom, I think this is a significant story, not only because we're talking about going against perhaps Jerry Jones's wishes, but this is America's team.
And it's also Monday Night Football.
Sure.
So for the timing of it is much more drastic. And you mentioned it is the Cowboys. It's America's team. It's just more notable.
Right. So we have another commenter here. Ronald saying, that sucks. Stephen A. Smith must be behind this when he knows that the Steelers are the real accidents that are waiting to happen. He could be alluding to the Steelers not coming out during the national anthem. I'm not really sure. Do you have any thoughts
I think that's
what
it is there. Look, I will take any chance to make fun of Stephen A. Smith. So I agree with Ron L. in the end.
Okay.
I'll agree with that, even though I don't really know what the point is there, but it's okay.
All right, so yes, certainly significant news here, especially what was really an unprecedented day in the National Football League yesterday, Tom. Seeing everything that transpired and the unity and the display that occurred was something that we have never seen in our young lives.
Yeah.
So,
very, very unique and very, and you said it best, something we had not seen before.
And it's certainly going to be significant if indeed some of these players do go about protesting here tonight. We do have Jerry Jones's previous comments from the past week, courtesy of Fox Business. Let's take a look.
We are once again seeing these players kneel on the field, not your team, but others. How do you feel about what you're seeing and the disrespect you're seeing towards the American flag right now?
Well, I do not think the place to express yourself in society is as we recognize the American flag and all the people that have made this great country, the very opportunity for us to be there in front of the nation. So that's not the place to do anything other than honor the flag and everybody that's given up a little for it.
So it seems as though Jerry Jones doesn't feel that's the time to protest the inequality that is going on in America. And by the way, the other thing here is we got to think about Jason Garrett and the fact that he wasn't even planning on discussing this in the locker room.
And this is not something that Garrett very much falls into the Jerry Jones side of things, where he didn't comment after Trump made his comments. Yep. He very much was like, I don't want to deal with this. So.
And as we have some of these visuals here of what transpired yesterday, some Indianapolis Colts there kneeling. We saw some signs of unity among the Ravens in that game in London yesterday with the Jaguars. The Jaguars doing something similar. The Jaguars owner was actually interlocking arms. A lot of the owners actually were involved in many of these games yesterday. And Tom, just seeing this news, I mean, first of all, from an analyst standpoint and a fan, your reaction.
I'll point this out here as well. You saw the Jaguars, their owner was down the field locking arms with players. He was one of the 7 owners who donated to Trump's campaign.
Okay.
Which I found very interesting. And I think that it's funny how drastically the NFL has shifted in terms of the way the league views this, and they've been very much supportive of the players in this case. The owners have been supportive in a way that they weren't. These are the same NFL owners who, despite desperately needing quarterback help, didn't sign Colin Kaepernick. Now all of a sudden they're on the side of the players.
It's an interesting point.
I think this is a little bit of the classic NFL hypocrisy that we've seen time and time again, where the view has changed for them. Now they're suddenly supporting the players. Because if they hadn't, there might have been some mutinies going on in NFL rosters.
Now, this news broke just 2 hours ago,
Not
Tom,
even.
and somebody's leaking something right now because we're getting
It was
anonymous
the players.
reports. Sure.
We have some of the quotes actually from the players here that we can go to as well. With those quotes,
too.
2 unnamed players told Clarence Hill of the Fort Worth Star-Telegram they felt that it's not going to be business as usual. He crossed the line. Something will be done. He, of course, referring back to Donald Trump. Yep. The players took offense to what Donald Trump said, and I get why they took offense.
The SOB comment.
The President of the United States was calling for anyone who protested to be fired. That's not his call to make. He also called them sons of bitches. So, if you're an NFL player, the President just called you a bitch. How are you going to feel? You're going to be offended and you're going to be upset. And given all everything that happened previously in the past couple months and so with all of the racial issues, it doesn't surprise me the NFL players took exception.
Now, we do have a piece that we will play at the end. Some of the players at the press conference yesterday at their respective podiums talking about the president. One player, actually, Michael Thomas, safety for the Dolphins, got choked up, Tom, over this. I mean, they're taking it personally.
Yeah, they absolutely are, and I get why. I mean, president's calling you an SOB. You're going to take offense to that.
Right. I mean,
no matter what.
So we do have weigh-ins to go through as well.
And keep your comments flowing.
Yes.
There were a lot of good comments here that I know we're going to get to throughout today's show. I've been very impressed by just the volume of comments coming in.
So here is another weigh-in for you guys. Chime in on this one. Will the planned protest make you less of a Cowboy fan? Or how about this, Tom? Will it make you more of a Cowboy fan?
I have seen, there have been a couple comments here that have been scrolling in. I've seen some, just the most recent one from Nick Kelly says he's done. He's canceling Sunday ticket.
Wow.
I'll say this, and Nick, that is absolutely within your right, along with you, Clayton, who's also in that boat. It is well within your right to say that you don't want to watch football anymore. If this is the reason you stopped doing something that you liked before, I think that's pretty stupid. You can just turn off the game before the anthem starts, and then do it.
I know. Don't you still want to enjoy football? All of a sudden, you're not a football
fan?
fan? Is that the deal?
And it's also not about you.
Right.
It's also, and unfortunately, and I think I saw a good comment in there earlier, it's not about the flag either. It was about the racial injustice that has been going on in America right now, and unfortunately, it's not become about that. That wasn't the intentional approach of it, and that's why I think it's been a little bit unsuccessful at times, because it's ended up distracting. I forget who it was had a comment in the comment section I saw. It wasn't about protesting the flag. It was about protesting the racial injustice. But now it's become, they're protesting the flag.
Well, now it's become this game of Donald Trump versus the NFL. I mean, it's become a tweet
It's become
storm and
far
all that.
beyond what it was actually about.
And of course, we will get to those comments. We have a few here. Let's get to this one from Chava. People want to link the American flag to Trump. It can be Bozo the clown as president. You still respect the flag. People have died for it. You want to protest what Trump said? Good. Say it on, I assume, another platform of some sort. So there's one comment there. Your reaction to that one, Tom?
Look, I think it's all become blurred. Unfortunately, it's no longer been just
there's
about.
A disconnect.
And there's a disconnect on both sides. Like the players view it, hey, we are protesting what Trump has said. We're protesting the racial injustice. Other people say, hey, you're protesting the flag. That's not what it's about.
Right.
It's become the disconnect between what was the intended purpose and what it has become.
So I think one of the major problems that I talked about on the show, of course, the disconnect in what the messaging is for the protesters and what the dissenters of the protesters are perceiving. They are perceiving, the dissenters are, just disrespect for the flag.
Yeah.
That's not what the protesters want. They want a bigger dialogue in terms of inequality in America. This is not a perfect country. No country is perfect. Every country can get better, America included.
Let's see, Nicholas is hoping that the protest does happen as well. I am very curious to see what type of protest they do. It could simply just be the arms locked as a display of unity as well.
Absolutely. Once again, if you are just joining us here live on Chat Sports, breaking news coming out of the Dallas Cowboys, the Fort Worth Star-Telegram reporting that some players will be protesting tonight during the national anthem. Tom, I want to be careful with my words. Not necessarily protesting the national anthem, but during it because they have a different message.
Yes, totally couldn't agree more there. I want to get this quickly here as well. A couple comments here saying that they want to get, or that they want Jerry Jones to fire everyone like he said he would. That has not been the case. Larry Harris, this is not the case. Jones has never said that. That was a false report. Quite simply, it was fake news.
Right.
Jones is not a fan of protesting during the national anthem, but he has never said that he's going to fire anyone who does it. That report was proven false.
And we have another commenter here. Will be Cowboys. Our family support you guys. People talking crap were never true fans anyways. So basically, just do you. We'll stick around. We'll stick by you with whatever you do here. But a lot of drastic responses. I mean, some people just perhaps...
Does it surprise you, though?
Oh, God,
no. It doesn't surprise me.
That's just the way it is sometimes.
Yeah.
I mean, this could be just a knee-jerk reaction. I'd be shocked to see someone actually cancel NFL Sunday Ticket. That's the greatest thing that's ever happened to the NFL, but I digress.
I just use it other ways.
Yeah.
I get it other ways.
There you go. Here's another comment. Billy, if they do, I'm done. I am out.
I'm just surprised that this is the breaking point. Not the 20-plus years of not having a Super Bowl. It's that the players elected to protest during the national anthem. I get that it can be frustrating, and it's kind of gotten to a point where it's just been going on for so long. But this is not something to stop being a fan over.
Right.
I don't think. Now, maybe you guys feel differently, and if that is, hey, more power to you.
Well, I think the underlying theme here in terms of sports and politics, it's here to stay, folks. You're going to see it going forward. Even if you stop watching football, you're going to get it in other ways. Whether you're watching ESPN, what have you. It's the fabric of America now. It's where we're at. Players feel a better right nowadays to speak out than, let's say, in the 80s, Tom, when players were kind of scared to. So it's good to see players now wanting to exercise their First Amendment rights. Once again, we do have that statement Jerry Jones made to Fox Business earlier this past week saying that he doesn't see the national anthem for the Cowboys being a platform to protest during. Let's play it.
We are once again seeing these players kneel on the field, not your team, but others. How do you feel about what you're seeing and the disrespect you're seeing towards the American flag right now?
Well, I do not think the place to express yourself in society is as we recognize the American flag and all the people that have made this great country, the very opportunity for us to be there in front of the nation. So that's not the place to do anything other than honor the flag and everybody that's given up a little for it.
And there you have it. Jerry Jones, most recently, his statement commenting on this situation, mentioned Jason Garrett as well, the head coach for the Cowboys, had no intention of going into the locker room tonight, Tom, and really having to have a dialogue about this, but it looks like he's going to have to address his players. I mean, put yourself in Jason Garrett's shoes right now, Tom. What are you going to say?
I think you have to kind of find a way to make sure that the team is unified. That ends up being his job here in the end, is to making sure that the Cowboys players end up entering that game one night focused and prepared to go. That's not easy to do when there is something else weighing on their mind, and that was true across the NFL today. But the players themselves, the coaching staff, has to find a way to, okay, once that anthem's over, it is lock-in time. You got to focus on beating the Cardinals.
Right. There is, of course, a football game on tonight as well in Arizona. Let's get to some more comments here. Again, keep them rolling in. We're loving your engagement here. This is, of course, live on Facebook. Joyce saying this is getting so old. Joyce, it's the way it is now.
I also don't disagree with Joyce. Like it has very much been blown, maybe a little bit out of proportion, but I think it's gotten to the point where it gets a little tiring. Like, I know that a lot of fans use the NFL as kind of their escape, that they want to just have their football and watch it.
Sure.
Of course, that's not always fair to the players because, they're people too.
Right.
But I think I get Joyce's point, and I get this from a lot of people, that at a certain point, it just gets tiring of dealing with this every week. And I have stopped watching the anthem before the game. I'm kind of tired of it myself. But I also respect and support the players' rights to do that.
Let's get to Mark here. He has an interesting comment. So does everyone honor the national anthem at their jobs? That's like someone shoving religion down someone's throat. If people don't want to honor the anthem, so be it. Live and let be, I assume, would be the end of that quote there. Reminds me of Harris's comment on the Cam Rogers show today, saying basically in other countries, they only celebrate their anthem during sporting events that are really, really big, not every day.
And I think that brings up another comment here from Jason that I want to get to. And this used to not be the case in 2009. Like, it was before the NFL started doing this. Yeah, this was not always the case. And I think I saw another comment in there as well. Hey, just if you want this to stop, just don't make the players come out for the anthem. Problem solved.
Yeah.
And maybe that is the way to go about it.
Dave Snow here. Football is entertainment for profit, not some patriotic ceremony. It's all about free enterprise, so just don't watch.
I agree with Dave.
Channel.
I agree with Dave.
It isn't that difficult.
That's a very good comment there, Dave.
And by the way, can't you just last 10 seconds of a camera panning to some players protesting? Is it really that hard? If you can't handle 10 seconds of a player trying to speak out in what they feel is inequality in America, then you're not a true football fan. Mm-hmm. You're just not.
Lewis with another comment that I've seen this sentiment several times here. He says he wonders how people stand when they are at home and the national anthem is played during the broadcast.
I've seen those points quite often, actually. Yeah. It's
a very fair comment.
It really is. Mm-hmm. Let's go into a weigh-in here, and the question is, will the planned protest make you less of a Cowboys fan? And I will also ask, will it make you more of a Cowboys fan? So there's certainly two flips of the coin here. Tom, you're a Cowboys fan. We could say that live on air. Does it?
It changes nothing. It changes nothing for me. I am a fan of the Dallas Cowboys. There are some players I don't like. There are some players I like more than others. This is not something that is going to make or break me as a Cowboys fan. There are a lot more important issues around the NFL, around America, than talking about a sign of unity, a protest, whatever. So that's kind of the way I fall upon it. I don't have any issues. If this is what they want to do, that's their right. I don't have a problem with it.
The world is going to be watching tonight, ladies and gentlemen. It's Monday Night Football on ESPN. And I think the ratings are going to skyrocket for this game now. Originally it was an okay
the ratings.
Game,
the Cowboys are on a primetime game. The viewership is always going to be high.
That's a good point.
That's how things work with the Cowboys.
Right. It's no headliner game. The Cardinals are just okay this year, it seems. But once again, weigh in. We are live. So will the planned protest make you less of a Cowboys fan or more of a Cowboys fan? And I would argue, Tom, that I think Jerry Jones is going to be in that locker room tonight, and he's going to say his best case possible to not do this. Oh,
I'm sure Jared's going to ask him not to. I'm curious to see just how actively involved Jones will be in the decision, because I know that he is not a big fan of it, and we have his comments here as well for you guys to hear.
We are once again seeing these players kneel on the field, not your team, but others. How do you feel about what you're seeing and the disrespect you're seeing towards the American flag right now?
Well, I do not think the place to express yourself in society is as we recognize the American flag and all the people that have made this great country, the very opportunity for us to be there in front of the nation. So that's not the place to do anything other than honor the flag and everybody that's given up a little for it.
So there you have it, Jerry Jones recently speaking on the matter here, Tom, and I think there actually is some significance, especially to who actually protests tonight. Will it be Dez? Will it be Dak? Will it be Zeke? I mean, those are the brand names of the Dallas Cowboys right now.
Yeah, and I'm very curious to see who will step up. Now, Dez Bryant, there was a little Twitter war a couple of weeks ago between him and Jamel Hill about some of the comments there that she made about Dez not being fully on board. But Dez has always been very active in the Cowboys community. He's been very quiet thus far about this particular issue, but he's done more than enough as a role model. And I think this leads me to my next point here. These players, the Cowboys players. If you're a kid in Dallas, you look up to these players. How many kids do you see running around here with Dak or Zeke or Dez Bryant jerseys, or even a Sean Lee jersey? Like, these players are role models, so I applaud them when they step up and do what they believe is right. Now, sometimes they're not going to get it right. Like, sometimes they make mistakes. Sometimes they support the wrong people, whatever. But they're trying to do what they believe is right. And I applaud them for that. And these players here, these Ravens, the Jaguars players, and more, they believe that they are trying to do the right thing. They're trying to be good role models. And having had players like Greg Hardy on this roster, I would prefer those players protesting than getting involved with domestic violence or something along those lines.
And you know what really made this catch fire? It's Friday night's Alabama rally for Donald Trump. I mean, that's what it was. He threw oil on the fire in his eyes. That is occurring here with the protest thing.
We'll get to hear our reaction here, and I actually do want to see kind of how this is broken up because there have been a ton of comments. Thank you all for commenting here, and I want to see how the reaction polls break down of whose stance do you support, President Trump or the protesting players. I just want to point this out here. This is what President Trump does very, very well, and I can't believe I'm actually talking about politics here on a show. I never do this. He is very good at this. This is the classic misdirection play by Trump.
Oh, yeah.
He's got us all talking about the protest, all talking about that and whatnot, while we're ignoring actual issues around our nation.
You're absolutely right.
We have completely forgotten about North Korea. We've completely forgotten about the Russian investigation. We've completely forgotten about health care, kind of a big deal. Like, we've dropped everything to talk all about the protests now because the NFL is so popular and it's the president getting involved.
Yes. Donald Trump is one of the best at pivoting. He was great at it in the debates, and now he's doing it as president, it seems. Let's get to a comment from Eric saying the more important subject is
tonight, technically, and I hope so. I picked the Cowboys this week. I think they're going to bounce back against the Arizona Cardinals team as we get to talk about actual football here. They don't have David Johnson. So that is like the focal point of their offense. I mean, I honestly think that David Johnson is more important to the Cardinals than Zeke is to the Cowboys.
Wow.
And by the way, the Cardinals backups are a washed-up Chris Johnson, Kerwin Williams, and Andre Ellington, a scat back. So I think that sets up very well for the Cowboys. We'll see how the defense fares. They have to bounce back after a very rough showing against the Denver Broncos. But this game should lean in favor of the Cowboys.
Let's get to a commenter as well. Alvina saying they will regret this stance flatly.
Will they, though?
I don't think they will.
Like, how could this come back to bite them?
What are the repercussions?
Other than Trump not liking the sponsors aren't going to drop them.
No.
So
I wouldn't be able to answer that question, honestly. Let's get to Luis. Or actually, we have Kerry Johnson here. Watch all them Cowboys stand up with their hands on their hearts. We are America's team. I don't know, Kerry. I mean, some might not be standing up. Just what we're going to see tonight. Yeah,
it might very well end up being, for those of you just joining us, a show of unity here. It could just be the inner locking of arms as we saw in other games. There could be some kneeling. I don't think we'll see the Steelers-type move of everyone going to the locker room and then coming out.
Right. That would probably require a coordinated effort. Again, the reports are that it's not necessarily a coordinated effort, but some players
in the end, it will be coordinated.
You think so?
It will be coordinated. I think that's the plan right now. There have been some of the Cowboys' leadership here of the players is trying to figure out what the best process is. Okay. And I think the key is being coordinated.
I think it's in development right now.
It is. And look, it'll be taken care of before the game starts, and they'll have that figured out as well.
All right, we have some more comments. DC4L, can you decode that? I don't even know what that is.
Dallas Cowboys for life. God, you're killing it here. You're killing me, Cam.
Talking to a Ravens fan
you're
right now.
You're killing me, Smalls.
Give me Ravens flock or something.
You are killing me.
Sorry.
This is a Cowboys show.
Joe Flacco is elite. I could decode that.
You are, yeah, it's called fake news.
Once again, folks, we thank you for tuning in. This is breaking news right now. The Fort Worth Star-Telegram reporting that some players for the Dallas Cowboys will be protesting during the national anthem tonight. Some comments are flowing in, Tom, and a lot of people don't like it.
A lot of comments here, and it's been very much kind of, to an extent, I think, a split group. I've had a tough time trying to stay up to date with all of them. There have been so many, and hey, we thank you guys for your comments. Like the page if you haven't already. We got highlights coming up later tonight after this game ends, Cowboys, Cardinals, and then our weekly Cowboys Report show as well. But, we want to know here, will the planned protest make you less of a Cowboys fan? For me, it will not. It doesn't affect it to me. It just doesn't.
But it doesn't surprise you either.
No.
This news is coming out.
No, it's not. I think this is a little bit maybe of an expectation here. I think after what the president had said, it was an expectation here. I do know that Jerry Jones, not a fan of the protesting and kneeling. Here were his comments earlier this month.
We are once again seeing these players kneel on the field, not your team, but others. How do you feel about what you're seeing and the disrespect you're seeing towards the American flag right now?
Well, I do not think the place to express yourself in society is as we recognize the American flag and all the people that have made this great country, the very opportunity for us to be there in front of the nation. So that's not the place to do anything other than honor the flag and everybody that's given up a little for it.
All right, so there you have it, Jerry Jones this past week. This has been a special edition of the Cowboys Report. Breaking news here live on Chat Sports. Stick around on chatsports.com to get all the updates, Tom. There'll be some more.
Quick note, I saw one comment asking where we got this bogus news from. Where it comes from Clarence Hill, the Fort Worth Star-Telegram, who spoke to multiple Cowboys players, as did Todd Archer of ESPN. So if you don't want to take it from us, you can take it from anywhere there. Maybe just trust us because we don't make things up. Just a thought.
Little Google action and you'll see it.
Also good.
Yeah, there you go.
Google.
Tom Downey, Cam Rogers, thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time.
As a man, as a father, as an African-American man, as somebody in the NFL, as one of those sons of bitches, yeah, I took it personally, but at the same time, like I said in my Twitter post, it's bigger than me, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's bigger than me. I got a daughter. She's going to have to live in this world. You know what I'm saying? And I'm going to do whatever I got to do to make sure, she can look at my dad, look at her dad and be like, hey, you did something, you tried to make a change. You feel me?
That's right. Yeah. Football questions? You're good?
Locker room was a chance to talk more. I would say personally, I'm disappointed in the comments that were made. I think we need a little bit more wisdom in that office, and that's being a little blunt, but that's how I feel. I want that guy to be one of the smarter guys in the room, and it seems like every time he's opening his mouth, it's something that is dividing our country and not pulling us together. And that has nothing to do with my feelings about the anthem, but it just might take 24 hours. So
once again, this is a tragedy in our country that we have to sit here and still have these discussions. I know for a fact that I'm no son of a bitch, and I plan on continuing forward and doing whatever I can for my position.
we are once again seeing these players kneel on the field, not your team, but others. How do you feel about what you're seeing and the disrespect you're seeing towards the American flag right now?
Well, I do not think the place to express yourself in society is as we recognize the American flag and all the people that have made this great country, the very opportunity for us to be there in front of the nation. So that's not the place to do anything other than honor the flag and everybody that's given up a little for it.